Welcome to the Order Life Podcast. We recently had renowned speaker, author, and founder of the Virtuous Leadership System, Alex Havard, on our podcast. Right after we talked with Alex, my friend Andrew Rebello interviewed him for a blog he wrote for Virtues at Work, which is posted in the show notes. Alex and Andrew have been kind enough to let us post this interview on our podcast, so if you like what you hear and want to support Alex's work, please share with more people and check out alexhavard.com to see Alex's books, courses, and resources for how you can pursue greatness. We hope you enjoy.
This is the most complicated thing in virtuous leadership.
Yeah.
It's to discover your mission in life, because you build a mission on greatness, not on weaknesses.
Yeah. How would you say you could take that knowledge of yourself and present it in a humble way?
Without boasting.
Yeah, without boasting.
It's very simple. The more you're aware of your talents, the more you should be also aware of the fact that those talents are gifts from God. So the important thing for us, it's not what we get, it's how do we grow. I always tell my students that they have to create a magnanimous environment for their lives. Make decisions about the books they have to read, the movies they have to watch, the music they have to listen to, the books they shouldn't read, the movies they shouldn't watch, and the music they shouldn't listen to. Because there is a movie for small people. So your freedom is about choosing the source of influence you want for your life. And you say, I want this guy to influence me. That guy, never. I think the biggest thing that people receive when they get those courses, a sense of personal dignity. They see what it means to be a human being.
Yeah.
The key things in what I'm doing, it's in the end of the day, when you get those 7 courses, you understand what it means to be human. Because today we don't speak about human nature. Because the one who created you, he created you with a purpose. And all your life is about discovering that purpose. If not, you will never be happy.
How do you help someone struggling to kind of create this willpower for themselves?
Little things. First, you need to have a plan, a real plan of life, to understand the moments during the day when you reflect about what you're doing. You cannot be those people who just run away from themselves all the time doing things in order to forget that there is a void, a spiritual void inside themselves. So the reflection is very important. If you practice the virtues, you have a lot of powers to do things in life. And people without virtue, they cannot. I mean, what you get at university, 5% of information you get at university, this is just 5% of what you can do. But 95, it's your virtues. You have to have this 5%. But 95% of what you can do has nothing to do with what you know. It has to do with the virtues you've been developing since you're young.
In your personal experience, what most shaped your understanding of virtue in your life?
The smile of my mother. That's what moved me most. And she died, but she passed away 15 years ago. And I still remember her smile. And I think her smile was, in the end of the day, all her virtues.
Alexander Havard, the founder of Virtuous Leadership System, a leadership philosophy now taught on every continent and embraced by CEOs, educators, and entrepreneurs, and mission-driven organizations around the world. With a background in law and decades of experience coaching leaders, you've built a reputation for reminding us that leadership is not just about personality, but it involves personality, charisma. It's about character. It's about virtue. And ultimately, it's about your mission. Your books, Virtuous Leadership, Created for Greatness, From Temperament to Character, Free Hearts, The Manual for Creating Champions. They've all been translated into multiple languages and have inspired countless leaders to pursue greatness, and not just as a self-promotion, but as a service. And you've compelled a lot of teachings of ancient wisdom into modern leadership reality, and we think that's amazing. You've challenged every one of us to align our hearts, minds, so that our leadership just becomes effective, not just effective though, but also transformative. And so today we're just going to explore the foundations of this virtuous leadership, the formation of mission, and the practical ways a leader at every level can cultivate this leadership and these characteristics. Not the stuff measured in metrics, but the stuff measured in who we become and the impact that we leave behind. So it's an honor to have you with us, and thank you for
guys.
coming. So the first part of it, we're going to talk about early foundations of leadership. So in helping like young people find their mission, what are the most important steps that need to be walked to reach this end goal or the knowledge about this mission that they have?
This is the most complicated thing
Yeah.
in virtuous leadership.
Yeah.
It's to discover your mission in life.
Mm-hmm.
Because your mission is not what you want to do.
Yeah.
This is a whim, what you want to do. Your mission is, who are you? Where do you come from?
Yeah.
What's your culture? Who are your parents? What did they give you? Your grandparents, what did they give you?
Yeah.
Your country, your personal history.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like? What do you hate?
Yeah.
So in order to discover a mission in life, you need to have a very, very, very deep self-knowledge. So and this is, we know, the most complicated things in life
Fair.
is to know oneself well. So I understand very much why young people have difficulty to discover their mission in life.
Yeah.
I discovered my mission when I was almost 40 years old, igniting hearts for greatness. Because I began to understand myself, I began to understand my talents, I began to understand what I was doing already through my job when I was already 40. But normally people get to know them, they have the capacity to discover the mission in their early 30s, you know.
Yeah.
Before it's almost impossible because you don't have any, you haven't tried many things, you don't really know what your talents are,
Yeah.
you know. So to discover your mission, you have to be a person that is not afraid of experimenting different things in order to know what you are good at.
Yeah.
Second, you need to be a person that is not afraid of having talents, and who is not afraid of speaking with the naturalness of his talents.
Yeah.
Because you build a mission on greatness, not on weaknesses.
Yeah.
And people that with false modesty don't want to speak about themselves too much, they will never have a mission in life.
Yeah.
You know, just hide away.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is not a good start. The good start is the truth. And the truth is that you have talents and weaknesses. If you know only your weaknesses, you're a problem. You're a problem for yourself and you're a problem for God.
Yeah.
You got it.
So how would you say you could take that knowledge of yourself, like your talents and what you know you're good at, and kind of present it in a humble way without being, you know...
Without boasting.
Yeah, without boasting.
It's very simple. And I tell my students always the same thing, which is the more you're aware of your talents, the more you should be also aware of the fact that those talents are gifts from God.
Yeah.
They are not yours. So there is no reason for you to be proud of it.
Yeah.
You just only feel the responsibility for your talents.
Yeah.
You will be judged on your talents. But these are not yours. They're just a given. So you have the obligation to discover those talents. And not to discover those talents, this is not humility. This is ingratitude towards God who gave them to you.
Yeah.
So here's a very important thing, which is the young people need to understand the difference between having a talent and being aware of your talent and being aware of the source and origin of this talent.
Yeah.
The more you're aware of the origin of this talent, the less you will fall into pride.
So how would you begin to explain that from someone from a non-faith perspective? So let's say someone in the workplace that you meet that you see has talent and you want to try and bring that talent out of them.
Well, you tell him this is nature. If he's a Christian or he believes in God, he will say, look, this is God who gave you this.
Yeah.
People like, when they are Christian, well, they believe in God, they understand that this is God.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't believe in God, he can understand it was a gift of nature.
Yeah.
Because this is a natural gift. It is not a supernatural gift.
Yeah.
It's not faith, hope, and charity. It's not grace. It's a natural gift that has been given to you through genetics, culture, parents, whatever it is. So these are natural gifts.
Okay.
So the important thing is that that person understands this, that it's a gift. and that's it.
Yeah.
It's not, he didn't create it. He did not create that talent. He can multiply it. He can work on it. He can improve that talent. But he cannot be the origin and the source of the talent because he himself is not the origin of himself.
Yeah. And then for young people that are trying to build this or trying to form their character, beginning that journey, is there any book or series of articles or something that you would recommend to help that person find their mission or find their...
Yeah, I wrote a book called Discovering a Mission,
Mm-hmm.
My Way to Virtuous Leadership.
Okay.
It's my personal experience.
Yeah.
It's my way.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can take it as the way of Alex, but it's a way that can be, it's not a model, but it can be an inspiration for many people and doing the job towards the discovering of their mission.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you could give a single piece of guidance to a teenager or a university student or even a young professional that's pursuing that journey, what would you say or what would you give as advice?
I would tell them, look, listen to what people tell you about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't say anything, ask for feedback.
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it bad? Is this me or not? Do you think I am a violinist or I am a broker?
Yeah.
There's a big difference here.
Yeah.
Well, they can tell you you're a good violinist, but in fact you're a broker.
Yeah.
You see the difference? You're a good violinist, but you're a very good broker. Or the opposite.
Yeah.
And the very good is your talent.
Yeah.
The good is not your talent.
Mm-hmm.
It's amusement. You
Yeah,
get it?
yeah.
Amusement.
No, that's fair. And then you've sometimes mentioned the term of like a free heart. And what would you define as a free heart and how best is one to achieve this freedom of heart?
Yeah, a free heart is for me, we have freedom of will, which is the capacity to make choices between different things. It's basic freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, every human being has this. Yeah. We are all human beings and we are free to make the choices we want. But a free heart for me is something else. A free heart, which is the highest level of freedom, it is sensitivity and responsiveness to the highest demands, the highest values of human life.
Yeah.
So a free heart is someone that is very sensitive, that perceives very easily the will of God, the call of beauty, the call of truth, the call of goodness, and immediately respond to that. So a free person is someone that perceives that reality very quickly and is yes to that transcendent reality is powerful. Mm-hmm. That's a free heart.
Okay. And then when you're talking to others, let's say you're someone with a free heart or someone that's in that journey of creating a free heart, if you're trying to convince others that are stuck in this like loop of instant gratification, which I feel like is common in today's society and in this world, it's almost promoted. What way would you kind of attack, helping that person out, or showing them that there's something more that's worth pursuing than just that instantaneous gratification that comes with certain things that they do?
Well, I think the instant gratification has to do with the lack of basic virtues. Mm-hmm. The lack of understanding of what's important in our life. It's not what we get; it's the process.
Yeah.
We are sojourners. We're all the time on the way, human beings. So the important thing for us, it's not what we get. It's how do we grow?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the process of desiring something a long time, we grow. If you desire something good, your desire for something good, beautiful, true, and the capacity to wait for it, but to desire it all the time and to pray for it is something that makes you an extraordinary human being.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Yeah. No.
it's the process that makes you a beautiful person.
Yeah.
It's not
The journey is
it's
more
a journey.
gratificating
Yeah,
than the
absolutely.
goal.
Because the only result is after this death.
Yeah.
Everything you get on this earth is very limited.
Yeah. Limited.
The only important thing is the spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual growth.
Yeah.
Are you growing?
Yeah. Or you at a
Maybe you
standstill.
get everything, but you're not growing.
Yeah.
And so what are you doing here? It's not. A lot of people, yeah, they are obsessed, but the things they get, and they are just losing time.
No. Yeah.
Did you think about how they grow?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, they are children.
Yeah.
They don't understand. They just a little game. They see
Yeah,
like as a game, as an accumulation of sensations, and not as something they build. This is lack of maturity. This is absolute immaturity.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what they should be told. Immature, like a little boy who's got his toy
Yeah,
and he's very
yeah.
happy, you know. In the
So
end,
if you see that in people, like even just your friends and stuff, what would you say is the best way to approach that with empathy? You know, because the whole idea is like, okay, sometimes like you have to tell the truth, obviously, especially if it's someone you care about or someone that's close to you. How do you do that in a way that's empathetic without kind of tearing them down? Or how do you help them build that maturity? What are, things that you would recommend that you could, promote?
well, if
or
it's a
share?
friend, it's very easy
Mm-hmm.
because with friends you can tell everything,
Yeah.
and you don't have to weight your words
Yeah.
because you know your friends, so he knows exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
So, but if there is no friendship, you have to be careful
Yeah.
the way you say things.
That's great.
That's why it's good to be a friend.
Yeah.
You say things to people.
Yeah. Okay.
But keep in mind that
Yeah.
many people, you can tell them some things, and they understand because there is enough maturity in them to understand that. So you have to be prudent in order to understand who is that person I'm speaking with.
Yeah. That's
What's the level of understanding of that person? You cannot tell things to people they are not ready to
understand.
can understand, but you have other people that are ready because they have enough humility.
Yeah.
So if you know this person is a proud person, very sensitive, oversensitive,
Yeah.
give him a book and go away.
Yeah. Oh, that's very
Don't tell him anything.
okay. And then if we're going now towards kind of the executive level, so within businesses and stuff, from your experiences coaching executives worldwide, what is the one virtue that you would say CEOs most urgently need to develop today in this generation, and why?
It depends. We cannot generalize.
Okay.
But you have some businesses, some managers, what they need is magnanimity,
Yeah.
which means they need to be more dreamers.
Mm-hmm.
They are just directed towards financial objectives
Yeah.
and to make money, but they don't dream really about becoming great people and transforming great people inside their organizations. That's one thing. Then you have other people, it's a lack of prudence. They're very rational or rationalists, which means everything is about numbers. And then they let opportunities of action pass away. And they don't do the job in time. There was an opportunity to do something great here. You were not sure. You were looking for a scientific model for your decision making. Now the game is over. It's finished. You had to do this last week. You do it now. It's finished. So the capacity for daring, audacity, taking risks, intuition.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of personal because I feel like if I look at my life, I'm probably more of a dreamer. But sometimes, you have trouble executing, I feel like, as a dreamer. So where would you say is the balance, or where can you find that balance between dreaming and like knowing that, okay, I'm still in the right state of mind to make logical decisions when I need to?
Yeah, it's because you're a melancholic person. So it's easy for you to dream. But it's very complicated for you to be audacious and bold.
Yeah.
But you have to know this. This is normal. It has to do with biology. So people like you should build the virtue of audacity, by taking little risk every day, being audacious. Don't look for certainty in everything, and telling that 95% of the fears that you may have, they exist only in your imagination, but they are not real.
No,
You get it?
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah.
So when you know those things, you're at peace with yourself, because you know you have talents, because you have contemplation, you have depth, but you know perfectly what's your challenges.
Yeah.
It's audacity and boldness.
Yeah.
But then you work on that and little things of every day. Don't wait the Third World War to show that you have boldness.
Yeah. Okay, and then with CEOs, how would they practically cultivate this culture of magnanimity and humility in the pressures of the modern corporate life?
Well, first they have to practice it for themselves, because they have to be an example for the others.
Yeah.
And I always tell my students that they have to create a magnanimous environment for their lives, which is make decisions about the books they have to read, the movies they have to watch, the music they have to listen to, the books they shouldn't read, the movies they shouldn't watch, and the music they shouldn't listen to. Because there is a movie for small people.
Yeah.
There is. You cannot.
It's funny.
It's
I was
so
listening to your.
It's so obvious.
I was listening to your interview with. I think it was in Singapore with the Catholic guys there.
You're
said
listening.
that, and
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. There is you have to create an environment, and because magnanimity is not the kind of virtue you develop directly, like the 4 cardinal virtues. It's more about indirect growth.
Yeah.
It's a vision of self. You have to be surrounded by great people. You have to look for great people.
Yeah.
You have to identify them. You have to spend time with them. You have to contemplate them. Contemplate the way they think, the way they dream, the way they act, the way they feel. And then you begin to be inspired by all that. And then you change. And until you've not seen this, you don't know what that means, to be magnanimous.
Yeah.
But you understand this because you create that environment. You know, you have to create... we are social beings, so we cannot live without the influence of others.
Yeah.
But our freedom is not about getting freed from this influence, like a fish getting freed from water. No, that you cannot. That's death. So your freedom is about choosing the source of influence you want for your life. Yeah. And you say, I want this guy to influence me. That guy, never. You know, like Charles Schwarzenegger used to say, there are certain things they shouldn't even interact. They shouldn't even enter the scope of my personal awareness. Yeah. So I shouldn't even know about those things. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, sure. And I like this sentence, which is that in the end of the day, you have to decide by what kind of people, what kind of books, what kind of movies, what kind of music you want to be influenced by. And you let this influence you, but you don't let the other things influence you. So you're free to choose the sources of influence you want for your life. Okay. This is what your freedom is. It's not about freeing yourself from the environment.
But
it's about
creating the right
about choosing the environment you want for yourself.
Okay. Yeah. And then for a young manager that maybe sees a lack of that in their workplace or whatever, how could they convince senior leaders, that these milestones or that these things, how do you as someone that's working under someone create that for maybe a leader that's in your workplace, or have that conversation with them to start to create a more virtuous environment?
To help all the people to create the environment.
Yeah.
It's complicated because when you're younger, people don't listen to you much.
Yeah.
They think, well, who are you to tell me those things?
Yeah.
So there should be a certain level of trust so that all the people begin to listen.
Yeah.
But it's all the same thing, humility. People listen. If they have no humility, they will never listen to you. Maybe a good book. This is a question. Sometimes you have to give a book to someone. Yeah. You cannot speak to him.
Yeah.
Just, I got a great red book I want to offer you. Read that. You will be very inspired.
Okay, yeah,
This is what you can do.
Okay. And then, so this is kind of regarding your virtuous leadership framework. How do you think that that can be integrated across every level of management, from like frontline supervisors to even your senior executives in a company? How is the best way kind of to approach that if you're in that situation where you can implement that in your workplace?
Well, when you understand that leadership is not a position, then you understand it can be lived out in any position.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a way of being. It's the way of being of those people who want to achieve greatness by bringing out the greatness in others, magnanimity and humility, greatness and service. And this has nothing to do with your position inside the organization.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it is something that it's a way of life. So but it's a job of the boss, of the manager, to identify those people.
Mm-hmm.
Who are doing this, wherever they are. They are growing by making people grow.
Yeah.
These are the people you have to give great power in an organization.
Yeah.
You cannot give power to the others.
Yeah. And then if you're a leader that's looking for, indicators of this, what would you look for, whether to know, that this person is kind of has some sort of virtuous formation, or they have that taking root in their teams, or they can give that to their teams? Like, what are kind of like, let's say 3 identifiers that you could say that you would be able to look at someone and say, okay, yeah, this person's a good person.
He has a leadership.
Yeah, he has the leadership qualities.
Well, I come back to this idea that he is you see a dream in that person, you see a desire for people to become great people. Yeah. He has a sense of education. You see that he's an educator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Independently of the job he's doing, you see that he has a mentality of an educator. And you see this in certain people. You see that he is obsessed by the idea of growth, personal growth, not only by material results. So it's things about human beings. Mm-hmm. He's more interested in people than in things.
Yeah.
And in this you see a human being. Mm-hmm. You see a leader. Yeah. He is obsessed by people, not by material results. Although he's not against the material results, especially in business.
Mm-hmm.
He wants them, but he understands that on the long term, only people bring these material results.
Okay. And then within a business, how do you prevent the idea of virtuous leadership from becoming just like a slogan and actually, lived out in reality within a company? Is that kind of just through example that you can do that, or are there other kind of steps you can take to?
It's a common language.
Yeah.
So when people become imbued with virtuous leadership in an organization,
mm-hmm.
they begin to speak the common language, the language of virtues. Begin to speak about mission, personal missions, career, corporate mission, the temperament that you have, the challenging virtue that you have, the integration of the heart, the will, and the mind. They about 3 hearts.
Yeah.
So they begin to use the language that is common to all,
mm-hmm.
and then people understand this language very well. They understand what you mean by that, and this challenges them all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what unites people inside a corporation. It's the common language about personal growth.
Yeah. Okay, and then these are questions regarding your virtuous leadership courses. So who are your courses designed for, and what kinds of leaders do you think will benefit most from your courses?
These courses are for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the best thing is to take it in a group. For instance, you have 5, 20 people, 100 people.
Okay.
These courses are designed for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of, it depends on each country. You have certain countries where individuals love these courses and they take the course alone. We have other countries where these are organizations, for instance, schools.
Yeah.
Okay. There are schools, they want the 100 teachers to get the virtuous leadership thing, and they have 1 year to do that. This course said these are 7 courses on How do you move from temperament to character? How do you practice magnanimity? How do you practice humility? How do you discover your mission in life? How do you practice the harmony between the heart, the intellect, and the will? How do you educate your heart? So there are 7 courses altogether, about 2 hours each. So people can spend with me 15 hours.
Okay.
They have beautiful slides, everything is good. The quality is very high, and people can choose the language. French, Spanish, English, or Russian.
Okay.
And they have workbooks. They work with. So they have the tests that we have. We have prepared 3 tests. One on temperament, another one on character, and a third one on the balance between the intellect, the heart, and the will, to help people not fall into rationalism, sentimentalism, and voluntarism. It's a very important test also. So we have tests, we have workbooks, we have the courses. People can take them whenever they want. You just have to have Wi-Fi. And they can take them during 1 year, and they can watch those movies as many times as they want for 1 year.
Okay.
So these are for everyone, but we have a lot of schools. The truth is that we have a lot of schools who want all the teachers and the staff, and also universities who want the schools, the staff, and sometimes we have what we call individuals that have groups of people.
Okay.
A guy, for instance, I have 5. 5 of my friends, we're going to take the course together, or I have 20. The price depends on how many people are in the group.
Okay.
If you're 5, you pay less. If you have 20, you pay much less. If you have 100, you pay 1/3 of the price. So it depends on the numbers of people that you have. And you have a lot of people, they are used to create groups. And some of them are coaches. They want to teach, they want to give virtuous leadership to their clients. Others are just parents, or directors of schools, or directors of a university, or of an organization, of a business, whatever you want. And that's the way it works.
And what would you say is the biggest transformation that you see from people starting that course to finishing that course, from what you've experienced or seen?
I think the biggest thing that people receive when they get those courses is a sense of personal dignity.
Okay.
They see what it means to be a human being. The key things in what I'm doing, it's in the end of the day, when you get those 7 courses, you understand what it means to be human. That's the key thing. What does it mean to be human? Because today we don't speak about human nature. We say there is no human nature. You can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. You can re-engender yourself whatever you want every day. There is no God. You're a God to yourself. It's just bullshit and a lie. This is an absolute lie. But people believe it because it sounds great. Re-engender yourself. And even in English, we use this word, re-engender yourself. Every day, no? You cannot re-engender yourself. You've been engendered once for all with a nature. Nature, natura, in Latin means born with. You're born with something. So you cannot rebuild yourself. That's what you have. And you have to be proud of it. And you have to love yourself as you are. And not as you want to be. You know what I mean? Because the one who created you, he created you with a purpose. And all your life is about discovering that purpose. If not, you will never be happy. Because you have to work according to that purpose and according to the rules he has created in your nature. If you do the opposite, you're going to be very unhappy. If you want to be a God for yourself, you're going to be very unhappy. And you are going to make the life of others a hell. That's the thing. Okay, so these are people in the ideology, They deny the idea of human nature.
So to follow up on that, because you mentioned it kind of, the language that is used, to promote all these ideologies and things, if you're someone that, notices that this language is being used, like, how do you combat that? How do you, just, obviously you yourself can kind of, change the way you speak and
by telling the truth to people. The truth is so powerful. Because people have the experience of themselves. And when you say re-engender yourself, and you tell them, look, you cannot re-engender yourself. That's right, I've been trying so many times. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? People are not idiots. So you tell them, it's a beautiful word, but they mean nothing. You cannot re-engender. You're here to discover who you are, not to re-engender yourself, not to recreate yourself. Normal people say, that's right. How can I re-engender myself? I have fingers. I want to have 6, but I cannot produce 6. I drink 2 liters of vodka. I would like to be good, but after that, I'm no good. You know what I mean? And I cannot avoid not being good. After 1 liter, I'm okay, but after 3, I'm very bad. So there is a problem here because I would like to be very, very good after 3, but you are very, very bad. So your biology is telling you, you cannot re-engineer yourself. You have rules. They are basic and natural rules of your. So telling the truth to people, this is what we need to do, because they react and say, that's the truth. The truth is very attractive. It's beautiful, and people know it's true because they have the experience of it. Yeah. So people in ideology, they just lie. Yeah. They just lie to people, and then you don't have to say they lie. You just have to say, this is the truth. Forget about the rest.
Yeah. Okay, and then if an organization wants to kind of start small with the virtuous leadership practices, what are some of the things that they could implement to start at like just a base level to introduce that?
The first thing that people normally do, they just read the books that I have written.
Okay.
At least 1 or 2 books that I have written, the one from temperament to character and the one on virtuous leadership. These are basic books. Yeah. And then normally they just read those books and they see where we're going with that.
Going with it. Okay.
And then they decide if they want more or not. They can decide, we need now Alex presence for a business, or we can take the courses online.
Yeah.
From time to time, I move and I go to see those people, and we have some presentation with them. But after the follow-up is to take the courses online. Yeah. To be sure, to get much more.
So, if though you're trying to introduce this to a smaller organization, would you start with like kind of the executives, getting them to read that book before you try and introduce it to?
Normally it begins at the top, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because in an organization, if the boss is convinced of all that, then we work well.
Everybody.
That's why it's not common that I go to the what we call human resource.
Yeah.
Normally, it's the boss himself say, "I want this for my people."
Yeah.
Then he talks to the human resource person, and he say, "We need that for everyone."
Yeah.
That's the way it works normally. It's not common that human resource people call me.
Oh, yeah.
And if they call me, they put me at the same level of all the competitors.
Yeah.
And I tell them, look, I'm not a competitor in this field. Yeah. I am the only one who speaks about that. So I'm not here to, the boss gets the point. Yeah. He knows what that is. I know. He knows Alex. He knows what he speaks about. He says, I want that for my people. And that's the way I've been working with many companies.
Okay.
In the US, in Europe, in Russia, from the very beginning.
Yeah. Okay, and then you talked about forming hearts, minds, and wills. So your system kind of emphasizes that alignment. What are practical steps that a manager could take to, cultivate that alignment within themselves? Maybe first, even just outside of taking your courses and stuff, what are...
First, they have to understand if they have a tendency towards rationalism or towards sentimentalism or towards voluntarism.
Yeah.
And I explained this very well in this test online, integrated human test, or in my books, Free Hearts.
Okay.
So they have to make first what we call a self-examination.
Yeah.
Because each one of us has his inclinations, and these inclinations have to do with the temperament. Yeah. That we have, or it has to do with the culture of the country we live in, or the specific moment, So people have to know if they have a tendency towards sentimentalism, and they have to understand what kind of sentimentalism is this. And then they discover in my courses not only the diagnosis, but also the remedy.
The remedy, yeah. Okay. And then how could leaders, help their teams to strengthen their will, especially in a culture that avoids discomfort and challenges?
How they strengthen their will?
Yeah. How do you help cultivate someone that, you see that are struggling to kind of create this willpower for themselves to...
Little things. Everything is about identifying during the day. Yeah. Imagine a usual day you have. A weekday, for instance, and you have to understand where are you. You have to make an investigation to try to see where are the moments during that day, the opportunities I have to practice that virtue that is challenging for me. Okay. Yeah. And you have to know this before, if not, you will not do it.
Yeah.
So you have to imagine what's your normal day and write down 10:30 every day I have this problem. Yeah. That's now the way I'm going to deal with that. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Well, I have those guys coming to me every day. It's boring. I have to listen to them. How I'm going to deal with this. And I'm going to do this with happiness, understanding why I'm doing this and how I do this. You have to find the meaning of the things you're doing in order to do it well. You know, to practice virtue, the first thing is to understand the why. Then to understand the how. And after to train. But first is to understand why. Do I want that virtue or not? Am I interested in growing in that virtue or not? Do I see the beauty of that virtue? So the first thing that is involved in growth, personal growth, it's the heart. Because the heart says, I want to be courageous. It's beautiful. Yeah. I want to be magnanimous. It's brilliant. So the heart first is telling you this virtue is a value. You have to value something in order to work on it. Yeah. So to value something, it's the heart that values it. So I say people, the beginning of virtue is not the will. The training comes in the end. Yeah. At the beginning comes the value itself. Many people, among the young people who say, I don't need courage. Yeah. I don't need courage. It's too heavy. Why? Why should I be courageous? Yeah. Why should I be just? Why? You're telling me that I should be just with people. But why should I be just? Yeah. In the world in which we live, everything is absolutely relative, and there is absolute truth. There is no absolute truth. Everything is very subjective. I understand perfectly someone that will tell me, just? Why should I be just? Why? Yeah. What's the meaning of that? Tell me more about justice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, what's that? Why do we invent that word, justice? It's a social construct. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Many people will tell you that it's a social construct. Just a social construct. Love. Yeah. This is the biggest social contract that ever existed. You know what I mean? Many people say there's no need for law. We don't live out of law. We live about something else. We live about emotions. So you have to understand people. And we live in a society where everything went down. Yeah. So a lot of people will ask you why all the time. And if they don't ask the why, you have to tell them why, because they have a why, but they don't ask it.
They don't ask it. Yeah. So then what role do you think storytelling plays in inspiring this virtue within these organizations and within your coworkers?
What do you mean by storytelling?
So I guess, whether it's sharing your personal experiences with people to connect with them or...
I understand you. This is very important there. Yeah. That's why when I speak to them, I always speak about myself. Yeah. I want them to understand who is Alex, what's his mission in life. If I ask people, try to discover your mission, I tell them first how I have discovered mine and what mine is about. When I ask people to try to understand their temperament, I tell them what's my temperament and how I discovered it and what are my challenges. So everything has to be on the table. Yeah. The guy who is training the others is to put on the table everything he has done himself, because it's an exercise he has done and that has bring fruits, and he wants the others to do the same kind of exercises.
Yeah, so you have to build that trust kind of with the conversations.
People trust you when you begin to speak about yourself. Yeah. You have a lot of people, when they write, you don't see the guy behind what he writes. Yeah. Anyone could have written what he wrote. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Anonymity, that's no good. And then when you train people, they don't speak about their own lives. Yeah. They like to speak about the life of others. Or when they begin to speak about themselves, they're sorry, I'm going to speak about myself. Mm-hmm. I never say, sorry, I have to speak about myself. For me, it's so obvious that I have to speak about myself. And it's not an act of pride or false modesty. It's an obligation. Yeah. If not, what's the meaning of meeting those people?
No, that's fair. Okay, and then for developing this on a daily, ongoing thing, what personal habits or disciplines would you recommend for leaders to grow in that virtue daily, or to grow in these actions? You mentioned taking notes and stuff of like hard times throughout the day. So kind of on top of that, like, is there anything else that you could implement, like if I went tomorrow to a workplace and was like, okay, I'm gonna do this today for the whole day. Is that something, like, is there a specific thing that comes to mind that, you know, can
There is there is always for me those three things, which is first you need to have a plan, a real plan of life, to understand the moments during the day when you reflect about what you're doing. You cannot be those people who just run away from themselves all the time doing things in order to forget that there is a void, a spiritual void inside themselves. So the reflection is very important. The contemplation, the reflection, the time for self-examination. It's not easy, but people should spend time with self-examination. Try to understand where are they? Are they trying? Are they growing? And you should do this in a regular basis. A little bit every day, but maybe once a month a little bit more, once a year a little bit more. Kind of personal exam.
Yeah. So when we talk about virtue, especially in the workplace and stuff, which misconceptions would you say do you encounter the most in the business world, and how would you address them?
With virtue?
Yeah.
No, the biggest problem we see today is that people don't understand the word virtue. They think it has to do with Christianity.
Yeah.
And I explained this has nothing to do with Christianity. This was 2,500 years ago, even before Aristotle.
Yeah.
They speak about virtues, about moral habits, and about the four we've been using: prudence, courage, self-mastery, and justice. These are not things that come from Christianity. Christianity uses them, but they were much before Christianity.
Much before, yeah.
So what I see that a lot of people would like me to speak about value-based leadership, and I tell them my leadership is not value-based; it's a virtue-based.
Yeah.
Virtue is very concrete stuff. It's a dynamic force. You are your virtues, but you are not your values. And your values are outside yourself. They are not dynamic. It's just something you want to achieve, but it's not who you are, you know? That virtue is a power. What I tell them is this: virtue is virtus. And virtus in Latin means power, energy. So it is a habit that gives you the capacity to do certain things, to make the right decisions, to stay the course, to run a risk, to direct your emotions and not to be slave to your emotions, to invest your emotional energy into the fulfillment of your mission in life, to be just, which means to interact in an effective way with people. I tell them that virtue is power. And if you practice the virtues, you have a lot of powers to do things in life. And people without virtue, they cannot. I mean, what you get at university, 5% of information you get at university, this is just 5% of what you can do. But 95, it's your virtues. You have to have this 5%. But because if not, you don't know where you go. And you have to have a job, you have to have an interest in life in something very specific, and you have to know the thing. You have to be a specialist in something. But 95% of what you can do has nothing to do with what you know. It has to do with the virtues you've been developing since you're young.
Okay, and then just to finish off, these are kind of some personal questions, so we can record them or not if you want. One of them is, so Saint Josemaria talks about how, you know, we're swimming in murky water and we have to kind of stay clean. So how would you say we can, you know, swim in the murky water and convert it to clean water kind of as we go?
We are in the waters, and we shouldn't get out of those waters because this is the place God wants us to be. But as I told you before, in those waters, there should be some places where you can breathe easily. Okay, and those places, it's the environment you create for yourself. As I spoke to you about before. So if you're asphyxiated by the waters, you have to find places where there is oxygen. And this is, you build those places. You create that.
Okay. And then in your personal experience, what most shaped your understanding of virtue in your life?
What's most shaped me?
The
smile of my mother. That's what moved me most. And she died, she passed away 15 years ago. And I still remember her smile. And I think her smile was, in the end of the day, all her virtues. You know, the virtues of the heart, of the intellect and the mind all together.
Yeah. What would you say is a daily habit or, a ritual that grounds you personally as you go through your life? Is there something that you specifically do every day that you think,
Yes, I'm a melancholic person, so I am challenged by the virtue of audacity.
Yeah.
So I know every day there are many things I would like to say no, because it requires energy from me.
Yeah.
And I would love to be seated and thinking and contemplating. Yeah. And I have to say yes. Okay. Because if not, there is no growth for me.
No growth.
But I don't like it.
Yeah.
After I enjoy it, but to do it, I don't like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and it's a way for me to overcome selfishness, but it's a way also of growing, and it's a way to apply what I'm speaking about with people. Yeah. Practice your challenging virtue every day in little things.
This podcast has been prepared by Sean Gregory, who is a portfolio manager, AJ Sanson, and Anthony De Lazari, who are associate investment advisors for IA Private Wealth Inc. Opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the portfolio manager and investment advisors only, and do not necessarily reflect those of IA Private Wealth Inc. IA Private Wealth Inc. is a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund and the Canadian Investment Regulatory Organization. IA Private Wealth is a trademark and business name under which IA Private Wealth Inc. operates.